But I'll tell you, the Beatles had it figured out. Because they said, you know it don't come easy.
Oh, yeah.
If things in the physical world don't come easy, spirituality doesn't come easy. Right? Okay, Rabbi said, be it that it's a few days before Rosh Hashanah, and be it that we spend most Rosh Hashanah in Shul, or the Yom Kippur in Shul, Haseres you make Tshuva, we daven extra tefillas, sleepless in the morning, whatever it is. I think it's kedai, it's beneficial to speak a little bit about the importance of tefillah. That's what we're going to do for the next 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. Start off with an interesting Gemara in Rosh Hashanah, and it's Ashgacha that the Gemara is on Daf Yud Ches, on Daf Chai. The Gemara says in Rosh Hashanah, Mardik Gemara, Tanya, Hay Rabbeir Omer, Shnayim Sha'alu Lamita. 2 people had the same sickness. The Gemara says, V'chol Yom Shav, the same sickness. Case number 1. Case number 2, V'chein Shnayim Sha'alu L'Gardayim. 2 people had a court case, wherever. Dinam Shava, the same crime, same sickness, same crime. Ze Yarad, V'zela Yarad. One guy got better from his sickness, got healed, walked out of the hospital on his own 2 feet. The other one didn't make it. Ze Nitzal, V'zela Nitzal. One guy won the court case, one guy lost the court case. If you lose the court case, it ain't good. It ain't sweet, it ain't pretty. The Gemara asks a very simple logical question. Why did he recover from his sickness? And he didn't. Reuven recovered, Shimon didn't. Ze nitzal, v'zeh nitzal. Reuven won his case, and the other guy got put in the slammer for 28 years. Says listen to what the Gemara says. The Gemara says 2 people, identical crime, identical sickness. One gets saved, one doesn't get saved. Etc. Says the Gemara, Zeh Spalel V'nena. Reuven daven and he was answered. Zeh Spalel V'loy Nena. They both daven. Reuven was answered, he got out. Shimon wasn't answered. So next logical question. Why was Reuven answered and Shimon not? It's almost not fair. Gemara answers this question too. Zeh spalal tefillah shleima. Reuven davened the complete tefillah, some will define terms. He was answered, complete tefillah. Zeh lo yispalal tefillah shleima. The other one, Shimon, that didn't daven the complete tefillah, wasn't answered. I ask you before we get to Rashi, if a person knows his life is on the line, if a person knows Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, for the next 10 days, starting Sunday night, you're going to say, V'kasveinu b'sefer chayim, write me, inscribe me in the book of life. On the last tefillah, Ne'ilah, which is the purpose of all of the 40 days, is to get the Ne'ilah. Chasmeinu, sign me in. Be signed. The scream. At the end, Shema Yisrael, Baruch Shem, Hashem Hu Elokim. Oh, you scream. It's amazing how much strength a person has at the end of Yom Kippur. He's fasted 24, 25. He's going strong. Going strong and even stronger. How Kalpan, and listen to this Rashi. What does it mean? Says Rashi, Tefillah Shleima, Niskaven. He had intent, he had fervor, he meant it, he wanted it, and all the other things you could say. All of the above are true. But what does Niskaven really mean? Who doesn't have Kavanah Yom Kippur? Say to Rosh Hashanah, you still got 10 more days, 9 more days. But Yom Kippur you have Kavanah. How can you not have Kavanah? Pshat is, the Bali Musar explained, the skaving means you have to believe in your own power of tefillah. Yeah, you this, you that, whatever you are. Every single person has a an ability to pray if he's serious, if he has intent, if he has fervor. One of the famous story they say over in the Hasidic world, some guy walks into Shul Yom Kippur, he doesn't know how to hold the siddur upside down, right side up, whatever. And the Rebbe says, because of you, all the decrees that were supposed to happen this year were nullified. You know how to hold the siddur upside down, whatever it is. When he meant what he said what he meant. That's it. And he told the Eibishter, he told the boss, God, make sense out of these words. I don't know how to read, I wasn't taught, You make sense, you combine the words, and let every Jew be inscribed the book of life for a good, happy, healthy year. It doesn't make a difference who you are. A person thinks, Rosh Hashanah, if my father was a big rabbi, if my father was a big sage, Rabbi Sai, every single person that opens up the city, it opens up the matzah, and it's not only Rosh Hashanah. Every day of the year, the greatest Jews, the Gdolim, the sages, the scholars, say, the biggest sages that live down the block over here on this street, the other street, Panim Miros, they have to daven to Hashem 3 times a day. They pray for wisdom 3 times a day. And when they're not praying for wisdom, they're learning. But anyway, you have to pray. It doesn't make it, and you don't have to be a sage to pray. The little kids in Cheder say Moida Ani. The little girls in Gan say Moida Ani, say Shema, whatever they say. Every person, you got to open up your mouth, verbalize the words, express the words. God listens to you. If anything, we'll tell you even more. There's a Mardik Zayar and Bala Kuf Tzadik A. Zayar says something which a person should, very hard to believe. The chosen of all mankind, says the Rambam, is Moshe Rabbeinu, the greatest man that ever lived. Moshe Rabbeinu. You know, they just tell us. Moshe is so great. Moshe can almost do anything he wants with tefillah. God tells Moshe davens 515 times. Hashem says, stop. Don't talk to me about this topic anymore. Let's change topics. Let's take a different course. So Moshe would have davened one more time. Moshe would have gotten what he wanted. Hashem has to tell him to stop. So we see that tefillah works. So Moshe is the greatest. Hashem has to tell him to stop. There's another great Jew, and whenever a Jew's in trouble, he opens up a Tehillim, and he says, whichever chapter he says, written by David HaMelech. But David was also a great Jew. So the Zohar says, let's get to Reb Shimon. Reb Shimon says, it says Tefillah LeDavid, great, fantastic. It says Tefillah LeMoshe, super great, super fantastic. I'm not saying Moshe is greater. David's greater, that's not for Bertrum to say. Great. Tefillah Oni. Oh, there's a poor person, there's a beggar somewhere. His pants are ripped, his shirt is ripped, his shoes are ripped. They can't get it together. Reb Shimon says, and listen good, Rabbi Isai, this is the Yeshiva of Rosh Hashanah. One Reb Shimon, Yeshiva and Bala. Whose tefillah does Hashem love and want to cherish? Tefillah Ani. Better than Moshe Rabbeinu, who was the greatest Jew. Better than David HaMelech, who wrote Tehillim. If somebody could explain that to me logically, I'd love to hear an explanation, but not now. Tefillah Ani supersedes every tefillah. Moshe, David, and versteht sich everybody else. Because if a person is serious, if a person has intent and fervor, and all the other synonyms you can think of, go straight up. Not important now. The Zohar says, read 195. The Zohar explains why the Ani goes straight up. The Ani goes straight up. So no person here is an ani. So at least as good as the ani. So a person has to know when he's going to say Shmooz, even today Mincha, tonight Meirav, tomorrow Shachris, Shabbos, Erev Yontif, Rosh Hashanah. Hashem's listening. More to the ani than to Moshe and to David. So says Reb Shimon. I guess Reb Shimon knew what was going on upstairs. He was privy to a lot of secret information. That's as far as this Gemara goes. So every person have to believe in your power of tefillah. That's one.
So we're saying the ani has a more kavanah?
Reb Shimon says, Hashem listens. I don't know who has more kavanah. I don't care if Moshe has more kavanah. I don't care if David has more kavanah. Hashem listens to the ani. Hashem wants the tefillah of the ani. And I don't think there's anybody here that's such an ani. So I think we're at least as good as the ani. Hashem listens to us too. I don't think we're worse than the ani.
Sincere.
We don't have as much need as the ani.
We don't have need?
We don't have as much need. We don't have anything.
There's no chazaka Sunday night. You could be richer than, I don't want to mention names, you could be the richest yid in the world. You could be the smartest yid in the world. You could have the most nachas in the world. All the things that a person wants and wishes. You don't have a guarantee it's going to last a nanosecond. The new season, Rosh Hashanah. Hashem could write down, yo, you're the number one in the Jewish Forbes. Tomorrow, you could be at the bottom of the list. It doesn't take that long. Hashem could do it much quicker than I can snap my fingers. Right? You don't know rich people that went to sleep last night and woke up poorer than the poorest bum on the Bowery? Come on, I know where the Bowery is. Right off the bridge if you're from New York. You know where the bridge is, you know where the bumps are. Come to the window. Whatever, they have a bottle in their pocket. I don't know what's in the bottle, I never asked them. They never gave me a taste. But whatever they got, they got. But that's the mistake people make. People are so complacent when Rosh Hashanah comes. It's good. God, stay on the back burner. Don't rock the boat. Don't change my life. Leave good, be good. I'll give a few dollars to the pushka because stock it taxably moves. Charity saves a person from death. It's written a few times in Proverbs. Say that. That's the pshat. You said it today. Kedala mukhrashim dafakn b'lasefim. Like beggars. Raj, dal. Exact meanings you look up. Whatever it means. Below the poverty line. You said it this morning in Ezra's every day all year. 350 plus days. Mike, who does God help? I asked the Kasha many times. I don't understand. Why doesn't God help the rich? Why does it say Moshe Ashirim? Before Ezra, in Ezra, right before Shmon Ezra. The rich don't call them. The rich are, okay, God. The status quo be, I'm good. Who says you're good? Maybe you're good. But who says you're going to be good Monday morning? Who says you're going to be good Sunday night? I think even the hospitals, and I'm not talking about the women that have to give birth Sunday night, they're open, I know. But I think they admit patients too. No Yid should need the hospital Rosh Hashanah. No Yid should need the hospital Shabbos. No Yid should need the hospital Yom Kippur. No Yid should need the hospital. If Hashem wants to show he's a good healer and a great doctor, fix up the goyim. It's enough goyim for every doctor to have business. Enough business. You have to heal the Jews. Hey, to show what you can do with the goyim. Be a rofei never for the goyim. Why the Jews got to be in the hospital? I don't understand. Feel the goyim. God wants to show he's all powerful. You want to give him, what do they call that thing? You want to give him the Nobel Prize for medicine, for biology. You give it to the goyim. Who says the Jews got to win all these prizes? That's as far as this goes. So the only, everybody needs HaKodesh Baruch Hu. Today also. Because today you need HaKodesh Baruch Hu to get to tonight. And tonight you need HaKodesh Baruch Hu to get to tomorrow. The first day in Shulchan Aruch, we never said this here. First day in Shulchan Aruch, he brings down a Yerushalyim. When you get to Mincha anyway, because Mincha's next on the list, you saw the sun on this side, and now after Mincha, after Chetzoy, the sun's on the other side. You're privileged, look at that halacha, Bir halacha, no. First Bir halacha. You're privileged, God let you see the sun here, now it's on the other side. Whoa, thank you, Chief. Thank you, boss. He give you already more than I deserve. You don't deserve anything. The problem is you walk around with that assumption. Rosh Hashanah night, nobody has a guarantee on the next second. Doesn't have a guarantee on the next second now either. But let's walk on Rosh Hashanah. Al-Kompar will tell you even more. That's as far as this Gemara goes. There's another interesting Gemara. Amar Bab Metzia. I'll tell it to you outside. Interesting Gemara. Reuven has a worker. Reuven tells his worker, I want you to plant wheat. Okay, Reuven's worker, I don't know why he didn't like wheat. Maybe he didn't like Wheaties. Maybe he didn't like the cover of who was on the cover of Wheaties. They won't mention any names of wicked people. They won't mention his name. But anyway, so what did he plant? He planted barley. All of a sudden there's a hurricane, there's a storm, Sandy, Andy, whatever you want to call it. The whole field gets flooded. The worker goes back to Reuven. I want you to pay me my wages. Look how long, how much work I did, Reuven says, Revied, I told you to plant wheat. You planted barley. You have to pay me because you didn't listen to me. And I prayed for wheat and you planted barley. I don't care how big a storm it was, how big a hurricane it was. Reuven says, you owe me money because you didn't listen. And I davened for wheat. And Hashem listens to my prayers. We're talking about a farmer, Rabbi Shai. We're not talking about Moshe Rabbeinu. We're not talking about David HaMelech. We're talking about a farmer. Reuven wins because Hashem listens to him. Whoever davens HaKodesh Baruch Hashem listens to him. Doesn't make a difference who you are. You mean what you say and you say what you mean. God doesn't care if you're a rabbi or not a rabbi, if you're a rebbe, not a rebbe. Whatever you are, a baba. So there you go to the baba. First, let's know one thing. You go to a tzaddik, it's one thing. There's no such thing as a quick fix. You can't go to the baba and he'll take away all your problems. Doesn't work. And I'll rest my case right here because there's more important things to talk about than babas. That's what a person has to know. Hashem listens to the farmer. And if you're diving for wheat, it's going to be wheat if there's a flood. If you're diving for, you planted barley, you owe me money. And he wins the case. Halachically, he has to pay because he didn't plant when he was told to plant. More than that. Tell you not an interesting fact that the Sefer Hasidim brings down. Maybe we said it, maybe we didn't. But the Sefer Hasidim brings in Kuf Lamed and Kuf Lamed Aleph. This is mind-boggling. A person thinks he has to have merit. A person thinks he has to be a Vilna Gaon or Baal Shem Tov, or Reb Shimon, or Moshe, David, and Aaron. Listen to what he says in the Sefer Hasidim. Yesh Adam She'enai Zakai She'kabel HaMokan Chilasai. There's a person that he has, his resume isn't fitting, and Hashem should listen to him. Yeah. The bottom of the list. Elabav Toikif Tachanunim because of his many supplications. V'dim Haseinav, his tears. You're allowed to cry. If a person says, Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, you're saying Asana Toikev. A person says, Mi Yichya Mi Yamos, I don't understand how you cannot cry. Hey, you're going to tell me you're 15, 20, 30? I'm in the safe zone. Maybe you got to be over 60 and 70 and 80 to start crying. I don't know. But when you say, Mi Yichya, who's going to live? And the opposite of that statement, was a big tzaddik that died about 30 years ago. 30 years ago. If it take a year or two. Then he was sick during the course of the year. Be it as it may, he told his Talmidim, he told his disciples, this was all decreed on Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur doesn't make a difference which one you say, it's the same thing. It was all decreed at the beginning of the year. The person asked to know, Hashem's looking. Hashem's writing. It's writing. Good. Yom Kippur, he took Yom Kippur, he can erase, irrelevant right now. And everything's good. You don't get sick Pesach time. You get sick Pesach time, but the Pesach, the sickness of Pesach was decreed every year before. Rabbi said, it's Mi Yichya Mi Yamos. So God listens to this person because of his supplications, his tears. He's always crying, he's always petitioning the Lord. Haf al pi she'ein biyadei schmooz. U'maisim tovim. He doesn't have merits. If anything, he has demerits. He doesn't have good acts. It's bad. His resume ain't good, it ain't pretty, it ain't sweet. Listen to what he says here. Mekabel HaKodesh Baruch Hu Tfilasai. He accepts his tefillah. He does what he wants. That's Kuflam. Kuflam and Aleph. What in that? That's given. A step higher. If you ask for something which will exalt, which will praise the Creator, you're going to leave a Torah. You're saying, God, I want to understand the Gemara. God, I want to understand Taisvis. God, I want to understand the Marsha, wherever you're holding. If it's the Shach, if it's the Taz, doesn't make a difference what it is. Asking God, you should understand whatever you're learning. You should know it. You should have clarity. You ask for a different piece of spirituality. Whatever it is. I was going to tell you in a second. The Shaifech es Nafshi, your love, you pour out your heart, your soul. HaKodesh Baruch Hu Shomei Tfilasai. God listens to you, God hears you. Let's say, give a simple example. Somebody wants money, he wants to support Torah. He wants to send his kids to Yeshiva. He wants to get good shidduchim for his kids. Whatever the scenario is, it's all valid. You want to glorify HaKodesh Baruch Hu. You want people to see the Jew lives good. The Jew lives smart. The Jew is good. Not a mitzvah to be poor. Chas v'sholom to think like that. Chas v'sholom. You daven the last mincha of the year, Sunday, right before Shkia, right before sundown. Barei Chaleinu es Hashana Zois. God bless this year. There's not enough time to write out a check. And you're telling God, God bless this year. Hashem doesn't need any time. Hashem can do everything in less than a nanosecond. Shana Zois, what's left? Bless this hour, bless this minute, bless the next 5 minutes. Who says you can't win in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs and 2 strikes and you're down 5-7 runs? You can always win. Allah Gadol. God is big, God is great. You don't have to be winning in the first inning. If a person is sincere, Hashem listens to him. It's Myridik. Moshe Rabbeinu, we told you this many times. Moshe Rabbeinu, I don't understand. I think if somebody today couldn't get an A in a speech class, he couldn't announce the news, he couldn't announce the sports. And Moshe Rabbeinu goes to Paro, to the most powerful man in the world, and then the speaks like this. Unbelievable. Hey, Bishta, you're doing miracles after miracles after miracles. A stick, a snake, water, red, blood, frogs, lice, whatever you want. Can't cure Moshe Rabbeinu. You tell him if he davens one more time, not gonna you tell him stop. Can't cure Moshe Rabbeinu. How many Moshe do you have? One Moshe. Says the Ramban, Moshe doesn't daven to be cured, God don't cure him. Period, nikuda. End the story, end the sentence. The Moshe Rabbeinu, got to daven. Does God give you 50% of what you pray for? Does God give you 70% of what you pray for? Does God give you 90% of what you daven for? I don't know. I do know one thing that the Ramban teaches me. If you don't ask for it, you don't get it. You get it. So I don't care if you get 50, 70, and 90. You got to ask for everything. There was a Yid. I heard this from a Yid that's already in the next world. He said to me once, he was once by the Geisel. And it's always interesting, sometimes you overhear how people daven, what they say. The Yid talking to the wall, really talking to the boss of bosses. He says, Eibishter, God, after all my expenses when I marry off my kid, let me have a few shekel in the pocket left for leftovers. 1 shekel, 2 shekel, $1, $2. Let money left over. That was his tefillah. You're allowed to do that. And since the kaisel is lahagis al-halal, the shabeach, the exalt, say thanks. The Yid that was once by the kaisel, 1:30 in the morning, it's open 24/7, there's no admission. Maybe it's cheaper when nobody's there. Maybe God listens better. Chas v'shalom, God listens all the time. Maybe there's less people, you could mean it more, you could say it better. How kolpanim? It's there, davening, screaming, petitioning. I don't know what he was doing, I didn't see him. There's 2 people standing 10, 15 feet behind. I'm looking at him, he's going out of his mind. They make up their mind, they're going to go with him. It's already 2 o'clock in the morning, there's nobody here, the only guy by the wall. Let's ask him. He's going to go over these 2 fellas. One says to him, you need any financial help? No, I'm good. Baruch Hashem, I'm good. The other one says to me, you need medical help? No. I don't need financial help, Baruch Hashem. I don't need medical help, Baruch Hashem. Everybody's healthy. Baruch Hashem. What do you do? 2 o'clock in the morning, you're screaming your guts out. He said, I just married off my last kid. I'm giving thanks to HaKodesh Baruch Hu. End the story. You're flabbergasted. Just say it. Give thanks. The Ramban says, in 2 places, the reason why God created man is to recognize your Creator and say thank you. That's what He wants. But ask. Just tell you one more Gemara. The Gemara says, if a person gets stuck on charity, in order his son should live, he's a righteous man, he's a tzaddik. I don't understand. Your son, Chas v'shalom, is sick, shouldn't have been yet. Your son is sick, you're giving charity, you should live, you're a righteous man. I can understand if your son's healthy and you give stuff, okay, you're a tzaddik. Your son is sick, you're trying to bribe out the boss. Try as God wants you to know the address. God wants you to know you don't get anything without HaKodesh Baruch Hu. You can't get out of bed in the morning, you can't tie your shoes in the morning or afternoon or whenever. You can't put on your jacket, you can't button your shirt. I gave homework. I used to give homework in my younger years. If a person wants a good exercise, do it once before Yom Kippur. You'll be a head taller than you are right now. Try to button your shirt with one hand. Just one time. Between now and Yom Kippur, button your shirt with one hand. It can be done. It's much easier with two hands. And if anybody disagrees, let them show me. It's much easier with two hands. But I'll go point him. You need HaKodesh Baruch Hu. What does the Chayvas Avavas say? They asked a scribe, House Parnasa. My hand makes me a good living. That day his hand got cut off. The person knows what the next second is going to bring. There's no assumptions. There's no givens. There's no givens. There's no givens. That's what a person has to understand. Every person needs HaKodesh Baruch Hu Sunday night. You need him every day of the year too. You need him every second of every minute, of every hour. And Sunday night, who cares what you got? I tell people all the time, one of the richest non-Jews in the world was Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs had billions, I don't know what he had. Steve Jobs dropped dead at 56. So he had all the money. Big deal. He had all the money, he had all the apples, etc., etc., etc. Look, he's dead at 56. I don't know. You can buy all the hospitals. By side, it's just like the tefillah says, mi yichya, and the opposite. Mi b'mayim, mi b'eish. Mayim is water, eish is fire, etc., etc. Mi yichya. You all want to live. Hashem should give everybody here. Everybody and everybody's family should be healthy. We should only see good things from all our children and grandchildren and all the coming generations. And know that everything is on the line Sunday night. Thank you for coming and thank you for listening.
Amen.
Yeah.